Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, today we're diving straight into quite a critical cybersecurity alert. We're looking at a pretty significant high-severity flaw. It's in Palo Alto Networks' GlobalProtect VPN.
That's right. And it's software that, well, loads of enterprises use for secure connections, right?
Exactly, it's everywhere. So our mission for this deep dive, we want to really unpack what this vulnerability is, why it's, frankly, so important you understand it, and most crucially, what steps you really need to take. Like now, we're aiming for clear, actionable insights, no getting lost in the technical weeds if we can help it.
Okay, so the core issue here, it's what we call a privilege escalation flaw. That's the type of vulnerability.
Right, privilege escalation.
And what makes this one interesting is that it allows locally authenticated users to bump up their privileges.
Locally authenticated.
Right.
So someone already inside the system somehow.
Precisely. This isn't about, some hacker banging on the front door from the internet. It means someone who already has some basic access, maybe your weak password got compromised, or there's already malware lurking on the machine with low privileges. They can use this specific flaw to essentially promote themselves. They go from maybe a standard user to full admin control. We're talking root access on macOS and Linux.
Wow.
Or NT authority system on Windows. That's the highest level.
So it's like finding a janitor's key and suddenly it opens the CEO's office in the main vault.
That's a pretty good analogy, yeah. It turns limited access into the keys to the kingdom, basically.
Okay, so that's clearly not just a theoretical thing. When you talk about that keys to the kingdom access, what does that actually let an attacker do?
Right.
Or maybe even malware that's already sitting there. What's the real-world damage potential inside what should be a secure system?
Well, the implications are quite serious. With that level of control, an attacker could install really persistent malware.
Like a backdoor.
Exactly. Something that lets them come and go as they please, undetected maybe for a long time. They could mess with sensitive system settings, steal confidential data, obviously, or even use that machine as a launch pad to attack other parts of the network.
Right, leapfrogging.
Yeah. Think about it. Malware that was maybe just annoying suddenly has the power to completely own the system it's on.
Without needing any new external hack.
Correct. It turns a sort of contained problem into a potential network-wide disaster zone.
This vulnerability, then, it really highlights something critical in cybersecurity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
So given everything we've just laid out, what's the number one thing, the immediate, non-negotiable step our listeners need to take?
Look, the message from Palo Alto Networks is crystal clear on this one. Immediate patching. That's it.
No workarounds, no quick fixes.
Nope. They've confirmed there are no temporary mitigations or workarounds for this specific flaw. But you have to update the GlobalProtect software. Full stop.
Okay. Patch now.
Patch now. And just for context, this vulnerability is tracked as CWE426.
CWE426.
Yeah, untrusted search path. Basically, it means the software is looking for essential files. But it can be tricked into looking in the wrong place, an untrusted place, where an attacker might have planted a malicious file instead.
So it loads the bad file thinking it's the good one.
Precisely, like your GPS trusting a hacked road sign that points you straight into a trap.
Got it. And you mentioned it's high severity. There's a score for that, right? The CVSS score?
Yes, exactly. It has a CVSS base score of 8.4.
8.4. How bad is that, really?
Well, anything 7.0 or above is typically considered high. Some scales even call 9.0 plus critical. So 8.4 is definitely up there.
So definitely in the fix this yesterday category.
Absolutely. It reflects, a high potential impact and the fact that exploiting it isn't overly complex if the preconditions that local access are met.
Right.
And we should definitely give credit here to the security researchers who found and reported this responsibly, Alex Bourla and Brereton.
Good point. Responsible disclosure is key. Now, you mentioned Palo Alto Networks hasn't seen active exploitation reported yet.
That's correct, as of the latest reports.
But does not reported really mean not happening?
Yeah.
Especially with something like this, an internal privilege escalation, aren't those harder to spot?
That is a really, really crucial point. Lack of reported exploitation is definitely not proof it isn't happening. Privilege escalation vulnerabilities, particularly ones like this that leverage existing internal access, they are inherently stealthier.
Because there's no noisy break-in from outside.
Exactly. An insider threat or malware that's already gained that initial foothold could potentially use this flaw quietly.
For weeks.
Months, potentially.
Yeah.
Without sophisticated internal monitoring focused on this kind of behavior, it could absolutely fly under the radar, which just ramps up the urgency to patch. You can't rely on detecting it. You need to prevent it.
Okay, so this really makes you think. Here's maybe a final thought for you, our listener, after this deep dive. We have this vulnerability, right, in a piece of software that's incredibly common, trusted, often running with default settings.
Yeah, core infrastructure for many.
And it kind of shifts the focus, doesn't it? It's not just about building walls to keep attackers out. It's also critically about understanding, well, what happens if they're already in, even with just basic access?
That internal threat landscape.
Exactly. So what does this specific alert maybe reveal about how vital proactive patching always is, but maybe also about those often overlooked differences between guarding the perimeter and securing things inside your environment?
It's a constant battle on multiple fronts.
It really makes you reconsider the layers of trust and vigilance needed, even for the tools we depend on every single day. Something to definitely mull over.